So welcome to the session, guys, and please see the screen and understand some important ground rules, what you're supposed to know before we proceed ahead. And first of all, please note that you're supposed to mute your mic in the class. We don't use mic in the class so that it will not disturb other people, and everyone will have a very clear learning experience. And apart from that, please use the chat box if you have any kind of questions, any kind of queries. And next thing, apart from that, you are going to also select the value Shekhar while using the chat box because it will like lock the chat box. So these are some simple basic ground rules you need to follow. So now let's get started with the session, and let me tell you what is the agenda of this session. So the agenda of the session is actually to understand a very important primary level step of the Salesforce project, where actually we are going to see that how or what steps to take after getting any Salesforce project. Okay, so this is going to be our agenda. This is the agenda we are going to focus on. And now what we are going to understand in that, how we are going to proceed, what we are going to learn. Let me tell you all these things one by one. Point number one, see, first of all, we are going to see something from the scratch. And we are going to see some information from the beginning level. And what is that? Let me tell you here. So we are going to start learning from on a Salesforce real-time project topics to understand how actually Salesforce industry works, to know what kind of things a person like you should have in the knowledge bank before working on Salesforce projects. And also we are going to see some useful information about Salesforce one by one. So right now we are starting from the very scratch level, very basic level, and we are going to understand how any Salesforce project is to be started. And here, please note, another important thing you should know is this. This session is going to be focused on completely on real-time project things. We are going to focus on all the real-time concepts. And for this reason, we are going to have some real-time scenarios also. So before we proceed and we are going to start understanding this, we are going to have some assumptions also. So let me tell you what we are going to assume before we proceed ahead for this topic. And according to that, we will take the journey to the next level, that is on the real-time project level. So let me talk about that. And the person who got the message from my side in the chat box, check the chat box and reply immediately. Dave, check your chat box and reply immediately. And here we are going to have some assumptions before we proceed. Assumption number one, we are going to assume that we have no idea about Salesforce. Assumption number one. Two, we are going to assume we somehow got job in Salesforce. That also we are going to assume. And third thing, we are going to assume client made the payment to Salesforce. These three things we are going to assume. Okay. So please note this important thing. Now let's begin and start the journey. So please note point number one here, that why we are going to assume that we have no knowledge about Salesforce. Actually, the main reason behind this is I want to make this session from the scratch, from the zero level. So whether you guys know anything about Salesforce or you guys don't know anything about Salesforce, I want here you guys to be able to understand everything from the scratch. Okay. So that's the reason we are going to start this from the scratch level. And next thing here, we are going to see that now in this process, you can see here, the second point I mentioned here is that we somehow got a job in Salesforce. Now we are going to learn in such a way that actually we here got a job in Salesforce. And now let me tell you something about that as well. So here, so Amit, can you check your chat box? Can you check your chat box? Okay. So now guys, let me tell you another important thing here. So we somehow got a job in Salesforce that we are going to assume. Okay, point number two. And point number three, here we are going to assume that client made the payment to Salesforce. Okay, all these things we are going to see. And why we need to make the payment? So let me tell you something about this. See, now please note, first of all, whenever we start any Salesforce project, at the beginning, we need to make the payment to the Salesforce company. That's the advance payment we needed. Okay. So here, assume that all these things are done and everything is actually done from customer side because these payment things are taken care by customer. Okay. So they will take care of all these things. And please note here, assume that first of all, this is all activities completed by our customer. Okay. Because just generally all these payment things will be done by customer. So that's also we are going to assume payments also done by customer. And now after this background, we are going to proceed and start the learning one by one. Okay, so this is all the background to ensure that your learning will be from the scratch, from the zero. And now let's proceed one by one. Please note here, now the next thing we are going to see is meeting with the customer. And please note this kind of activities we have to do in almost every Salesforce project. So that's the reason I'm teaching you from this scratch level because initially payment things and all these activities customers will take care. Fine. So now let's go for the meeting with the customer and let us see what customer is saying. So customer is online. Assume that we are going to have a Skype call with customer and now let's proceed and see what customer is saying. So customer is saying that guys, actually I have made the payment to Salesforce and second thing we are going to actually start the project. So after the payment, I got the ID and password, login details, ID and password I got as a result of the payment. So you guys take this ID and password and start using Salesforce. So let me write right here now the actual steps we are going to start. Let me paste here steps to take after getting project in Salesforce. And point number one, after payment, client will get login details from Salesforce. Okay, that's output number one. First of all, he will be getting ID and password. Second, now as clients are not technically aware, so they will not be having idea about this ID and password and how to use Salesforce and etc. Then in this case, they will be doing what? They will be actually like they will be actually giving the ID and password to us. Okay, so the next step is something like this. As clients are technically not aware, then they will hand over the login details to us. In short, we will take the ID and password. Okay. So please note this important thing also. And the third thing, Now what we will do? So we will use the credentials. We will log in to Salesforce and analyze the environment. So now let's do one thing. Let's log into Salesforce, assuming our client made the payment because this is the area of client. Second thing, after the payment, he got the ID and password, but he is not having any idea about technical things. So client said, guys, you only take care of all these things. I don't know anything about Salesforce. And finally, we are going to actually proceed with this ID and password. Okay, so let us begin and see what's going to happen. So now I'm going to log into Salesforce. How we should log into Salesforce? What is the process to log into Salesforce? Let me tell you one by one. Please note, to log into Salesforce, first of all, you should be having this details, ID and password. Please note, we don't need to install anything in our laptop. We don't need to download anything in our laptop. And please note, just ID and password, and that's it. Okay, so this ID and password, you guys are also going to get in the next session, by the way. Okay, you are going to get in the next session. So Just 1 minute. I think. Okay, just give 1 minute. Let me find now. Okay, so the only person who was saying not able to see the screen, now you're able to see the screen. Now you're able to see the screen. Just check the person who was saying not able to see the screen. Okay, fine. So please note now, whenever you are going to log into Salesforce environment, you need just one ID, username, and one password. That's all. Okay, and you all are going to have this ID and password when from tomorrow. Okay, because from tomorrow I'm going to start giving you lots of assignment. Today you guys relax. Today you guys enjoy this knowledge, and from tomorrow onwards we are going to start working. So I'm going to click on login and see what's going to happen. And it's getting loaded, and here we go. Okay, so we logged into Salesforce environment. Okay, login done. Now, guys, let's proceed and let's try to understand something important about this environment. Okay, one by one. Please note here. Now, this environment is something where you're going to make your career. So definitely, you should know many good things about this environment, and you should have all the information about this environment or all the necessary aspect of this environment. So let us do that right now. Okay. So point number one here. In this case, I'm going to tell you some important areas which you guys know. First of all, this environment. So what actually you can see on my screen, this environment is actually called as organization in Salesforce language, or technically correct word is organization, or you can also call org also, like this org. That's also fine. But we don't call the things like, for example, the way we call like account, my Gmail account, or login, my Facebook login. Like these words we don't use. Okay, please note this important point. Second thing, why we don't use that kind of words? Because suppose once you get a job in Salesforce market and you are working with the team members, let's say from European region or team members from let's say USA. So these guys I have seen they use technically very correct words, and you are not aware about technically correct words, then you cannot do proper communication with them. So I want you guys to use technically proper words only. Third thing, when you go for a Salesforce examination, that is certification exam, then they will use the word called as org only. Now, if you don't know what is the meaning of word org, then how you can understand the question? And if you don't understand the question, then how actually you can answer the question or how you will pass. Okay. So please note that is the reason you should always respect the naming conventions used in that technology, whatever technology you are working, and you'll get the good knowledge about this. Okay. So here onwards, we are going to say this environment as the Salesforce org. Okay. Fine. Now the next thing. Now in this environment, another important thing you need to know, and what is that? Let me tell you. So first of all, in this environment at the left hand side, top left hand side, you can see there is an image, top left hand side. And that image actually is called as logo. So let me show you here. I'm talking about this one. This is called as logo. And please note here, first of all, this logo is actually going to help you to give a kind of branding look and feel to customer. For example, see in the market, there is a very big company, Facebook. This company is also using Salesforce to run Facebook business internally. So let's say Facebook hired you and they said, okay, we are going to hire you and you help us to run our business on Salesforce. So what you will do, the logo of Facebook, which is this, that you guys know, you will upload here in the logo section and give a kind of branding look and feel to the customer. Next, this second option is actually called as global search. Now, if you want to search something inside Salesforce environment, then in this case, this option will be useful for you. You can do a kind of global search in this case. Okay. So let me talk about that as well. This is global search. And next thing, third thing. Now, Suppose I want to see how many business dealings I have done with the company Vodafone. So I can just type here Vodafone and I can search and I will get the results of that. And this way I can actually see how many business dealings I have done with Vodafone. Okay. Next. After that, here, this is called as Salesforce Lightning Switch. Now, please note, there are two important things which we are going to see in our course. One is classic experience in Salesforce and one is lightning experience in Salesforce. And it is very important for you guys to understand what is the meaning of this classic, what is the meaning of this lightning. But the agenda for this topic is tomorrow. So you guys don't worry, wait for tomorrow and you will come to know about all these things also. We are going to see both in our course, but we'll talk about this tomorrow. Next. Now, this is called as user menu. Now, suppose you're using Facebook, or suppose you're using, let's say, maybe Twitter, etc. So you have the options, if you remember, you have the options by which you can actually decide that who can see your Facebook photo, or who can comment on your Facebook photo, or which apps can have access to your Facebook, etc. Right? So this kind of settings you can do. Please note, exactly same thing here also you can do in this Salesforce environment. Here you can decide your language. Here actually you can decide your email notifications, which kind of emails you want. Here you can decide your time zone, in which country you are. So all these things will be here. Next. Now let me talk about this option. And this is a very important option for whom? For a person like you and me, who are going to work in this industry of Salesforce like a technical person. This is a very important option for you and me. So why this is important and how it is important, let me tell you. So point number one, first of all, or in fact we'll do one thing. Here, first of all, let me tell you what kind of options are there. So here, first of all, in this, you can do actually the configuration also. You can do the security things also. You can do programming also. You can do non-programming also. So everything we can do here, and that also we are going to see step by step. Next. Now, let me tell you one important thing which will help you to understand actually something about this Salesforce market. Because you guys are thinking to make a career in Salesforce, before that, it will be good for you guys to also understand one important thing or a kind of a comparative analysis I have done when I discuss with my friends from other technology who are right now in the market as a project manager or senior developer or senior analyst in that technology. So when I discuss with them, I have observed few things, and that I would like to share with you because that is important for you to understand that why people are making career in Salesforce or why even non-IT people are making career in Salesforce easily. So I have observed that while speaking with them, assume that let's say there are some people, group of people, and they are having zero knowledge in, let's say, .NET or Java or PHP, etc. And they're trying to make the entry into the job market. .NET, Java, PHP, data science, Python, big data, Hadoop, anything. And they're trying to make entry into the job market. And there are some other people also who are actually trying to make entry into the Salesforce market and Salesforce job market. Now, in this case, please note, here I have seen when I discussed with them and I spoke with them, the percentage of people in this case, or in fact, before that, let me tell you, people who are new and having zero knowledge in this technology also, they are going to have slight difficulties initially. In Salesforce also, that's going to happen. It's natural, by the way. Whenever you're new to any technology, difficulties are natural. But in these difficulties, the percentage of people who don't perform well are or can't perform properly in the project, or let's say they get removed from the project, they get removed from the job. Such kind of things happening in Salesforce, I have seen it's absolutely negligible. Rarely I have seen such kind of things are happening, whereas this kind of things are happening in good amount in these technologies. And this is what I observed while speaking with those project managers, team leaders, or analyst, consultant from other technology. And one of the reason I believe for this is actually the Salesforce ecosystem. It's built in such a way that even a new person will be finding comfortable to work in the Salesforce industry after some duration. And for that, the most important thing is in this Salesforce industry, if you are strong with the core knowledge, then your things, then your daily activities or your office works are going to be comparatively pretty much easier. Please note here, first of all, please note what is the meaning of the core things. See, there are so many companies, so many businesses, so many domains, means different types of business domains are using Salesforce. Google using Salesforce, IBM also using Salesforce. IBM is technology company, Google is having the combination of social media, many things. Facebook also using Salesforce. Facebook is a social media company. LinkedIn also using the Salesforce. Bank of America also using Salesforce. Vodafone also using the Salesforce. So this way, different types of companies are using Salesforce. Here, to become successful in the market, if you are having your strong core knowledge, if your core knowledge is strong, then you can tomorrow work on any kind of companies. And that is what we also do in the training program. We focus on core knowledge. And that after that core knowledge, students find pretty much easy to do their daily work with whatever available resources, whatever support this ecosystem will give, or whatever information they get on the internet. There are so many websites, so many communities where actually you can get solutions of your daily activities, daily problems in the project. And apart from that, you will also get regular help from Salesforce, etc. So this way, your daily work in the office will be comparatively pretty much easier. And I will be also giving you around 10 to 15 important documents. By this also, you will be finding pretty much easy to do your daily work, or lots of things you will find in this document. So this is how you can actually tomorrow start working on any kind of company. The only condition is your core knowledge should be very, very strong. And our program, our course is focusing on that only. So that is one more reason why people are making easy and successful entries into the Salesforce market. Fine. Now after this, let me tell you about this option. So what is this option? See, this option is actually same like your mobile phone option. Suppose this is your mobile phone, let's say iPhone. So this is the screen of the iPhone. At the center, there is a button. If you click on this button, then please note here, you will be getting all the apps. For example, WhatsApp app, for example, Facebook app, or you'll be getting the apps like, for example, Twitter, etc. So similarly, same button is there in Salesforce here. If you click on this button, then you will be also able to see the apps, like for example, sales app, for example, service app, for example, marketing app, etc. Okay, so this is the apps option. Fine. So now I told you something about the important area for person like you. But what about, or let us, for example, person like you and me. But what about the important area for our customer? So let's talk about that as well. And please note, this is the important area for our customer, and this is called as tab bar. So this is the important area for our customer, and these are actually called as tabs. Okay, so why this is important for customer? What is the benefit for customer? Let us see. See, whatever services you are giving to customer in the Salesforce industry, they will take the benefit of that only by this area. They will come here and they will click on this or this or this, and that's it. They will take the benefit of this. So let me make it very clear for you by giving one example. So assume that, let's say, like my previous batch students, you also, let's say, started doing freelancing after this course completion. So please note, we also encourage our students to do some extra earning by using that Salesforce technical knowledge, by doing some kind of project work or by doing some small project activities. We encourage our students for that also. So we also take session on that where we give the guidance to them so that they can also in future in market search about some projects and get some benefit of that. So Assume that, let's say you also attended that session. Anyways, that's going to be happening in future. So assume that you also started that session. Okay. Now, please note that here, first of all, we need to also understand one important thing that this kind of activities will help you. This kind of activities will also help you. Whatever example I'm giving you to understand the market situation or how is the market as well. Okay. So let's begin. So assume that you got a customer. You also started doing freelancing. You got a customer, and suppose the customer said, guys, actually I want your service, and the service which I want is I want the facilities in Salesforce by which I can actually enter whatever daily orders I'm getting in the business. I want to enter all these orders into the Salesforce environment. Simple. So I want this much. I want all these facilities. You said, okay, sir, fine, we will do that. And all the business orders you are getting, we will help you to enter into the Salesforce. For that, it will cost you $100. And customer said, okay, fine, I'm ready for this. And let's assume that customer made the advance payment also. Okay. So now let us see what's going to happen after this. And let me proceed one by one. Meanwhile, the person who got the message in the chat box, check your chat box immediately. So now guys, here, assume that customer made the payment. And now see what's going to happen. So you started working in the environment of Salesforce, and finally you gave the solution something like this. Assume that, okay? Assume that you gave the solution, and finally you told to customer, sir, solution is ready. Please log into Salesforce and start working. Customer said, okay. And after that, here what's going to happen, let me tell you. So customer will log in by his ID and password. Please note, the way I logged in today with my ID and password, that's why my name is coming here. Similarly, customer also will be having his ID and password. In short, let me tell you how the structure works in the Salesforce industry. Sri, check your chat box immediately. So please note, the Salesforce industry structure is something like this. This will be your Salesforce organization, and this is how we work in the industry. So you will be logging by your ID and password. Your manager will log in by his ID and password. Your BA will log in by his ID and password, or QA will log in by his ID and password. Your customer, end user, will be logged in by his ID and password, etc. Okay, so please note this important thing. Now, please note here for this. So this way, what will happen? So you are also giving this option for your customer to log in. Okay, in short, your customer is going to log in by his ID and password. And now, what's going to happen? Let me tell you. But before that, you need to understand everyone in your company will be having separate ID and password for Salesforce environment. Fine, let's begin. Please note here that in this case, your customer logged in by his ID and password, and he will see this option, and he will click on this option. Now let's see what's going to happen. And now after this, he will click on this new button. And after clicking on new button, here you can see this information he will see, and he will click on the save button, and he will submit the data. That's it. Okay, this is how actually customer is going to work. Now please note here, this way is going to enter the data, and that's why I told you that this information is important for customer, and that is the area I said this area is important for customer, because whatever customers are going to do, they are going to do here only. And also one more important thing, please note that whatever customers will do, like 99% of the things, they will be doing these kind of things only in the Salesforce market. That's why I told you that this area is very important. Whatever solution you want to give to your customer here, they will log in, they will click, they will enter the data, they will see the data, they will modify, they will delete. That's all. Most of the times in the industry, customers will do this much only. But in the background, whatever automation you want, whatever calculation you want, whatever complex programming you want, or whatever complex setting you want, that is our responsibility. And this is how the projects works in the market of Salesforce. Fine. So by the way, why I said here that we will take $100 from this customer. Now this I have taken as per the market standards. So let me tell you something about this. First of all, whatever recent batches placements happen, and for my so I'm talking about this for the placements of the students of USA. in my recent batches. So on an average, they got around 80 to $90 per hour billing rate. My students of USA region. So here, now in this case, as per that market rate, if you see this activity will take slightly more than 1 hour. This will take for us more than 1 hour slightly. That's the reason as per the market standards, I have said we will take $100 from this customer. So just to take as per the market rate. Fine. Now let's proceed for the important thing now. Please note in our training program, we are not also going to see the important real-time knowledge, but also we are going to see time to time various important interview questions also. So let me tell you one important interview question which was asked in Infosys, which is suitable for a person like you to know at this moment. What was the question asked in Infosys? Let me tell you. The question was, what is recycle bin in Salesforce? Simple. Okay. Now, related to this, there was also one more certification question in the past asked in the admin exam, which is also called as 201. So the question which was asked in the certification exam is something like this. What is the timeline of the content present in recycle bin? Now let us see what is the meaning of this also. Please note here both questions are related with each other. That's why I'm taking back to back. Let's focus on this question. And I don't think so you guys need any answer from my side for this question, because you guys are using laptop or computer from your school days, from your college days. So you know what is the meaning of recycle bin. So for example, in your laptop, there is a file, let's say profit and loss of 2019, some kind of Excel file you're having. And you deleted this file. Okay, let's say somewhere in the month of January, you deleted this file. You know very well where it will go. It will go to the recycle bin, that you know. Now, in the month of, let's say May, your manager told you that I need that file, profit and loss of last year. Do you have that file? And you realize that that file is not available. You deleted that file. So you will go to recycle bin, and will you find the file there? Yes, the file will be there. And you will take the file, restore the file, and give it to manager. Please note, similar thing happens in Salesforce as well. So for example, whenever you delete any record in Salesforce, what happens in Salesforce? Let me tell you. Whenever you delete any record or data in Salesforce, that information will go to recycle bin. And there also it will remain for some days. And here in the recycle bin, whatever information you're having, you can actually undelete also. Select this and undelete, like same like your laptop, same like your system, you can also do in Salesforce also. Okay, so these are the same things in Salesforce. And let me now write here the answer of the interview question. What is recycle bin in Salesforce? So please note, whenever we delete any data, or in another words, record in Salesforce, it goes to recycle bin, and here and stays there for some days. Okay, so please note this important point. Now here, after that, another important thing, let me tell you. Please note that the next question is, what is timeline of the content present in recycle bin? So for how many days it will be there? Okay, now let me tell you something about that. First of all, they will give the option in the exam, 5 days. And apart from that, B, 10 days, then 15 days, and then 20 days. Like this, they will be giving option, because certification exams are only option, objective types. Okay, no coding, no programming, nothing to write. Only select the option A, B, C, D, nothing else. Okay, fine. So now here, let me go for the answer for this. Now, please note, first of all, the answer for this is C. Okay, so please note, C is the answer for this. And please note, if suppose you delete something in Salesforce environment, then for 15 days, it's going to be there. Means what exactly? Let me tell you. Okay. Please note, first of all, if suppose you are going to join any company, then tell your customer that actually here, whatever information you will delete, that will be actually going to recycle bin. But if you delete by mistake, tell your customer that, sir, before 15 days only you have to take it back if you delete by mistake. Otherwise, after 15 days, it will be permanently deleted. So that's important thing. And here, another important thing you should know is that after 15 days, you will have no chance to get the data back. It's going to be beyond your area. Okay. So this is the answer you need to understand. And plus, this is the information you should give to your customer when you are going to start any project. Now, let me talk about one important question which mostly we face in the real-time project while working with customers. And these kind of questions we also regularly ask in the interviews, and I mostly see people don't answer these questions. Okay, let me tell you something about that. Now, please note here, first of all, let me tell you another important thing. Pay attention, this one is a very important thing for you. Some important questions which are asked or which are useful for interview or during the job, which most of the people don't answer. Please note, that's my personal experience also. Every month, minimum 4 to 5 interviews I take for various companies in my network to help them to set up their business in Salesforce or to help them to hire a proper quality candidates in Salesforce. I saw most of the time I don't get the correct answer for this kind of questions. And these are famous questions for interview and for your job. So I want you guys, my students, should be aware about these answers. And let me tell you what is that. Pay attention. Question number 1. So it happens initially that customers don't pay attention to your statement that you said them that, sir, if you delete something by mistake, please take it back before 15 days. Otherwise, you will not get the chance. They neglect that. And after 15 days, they will contact you and they will say something like this. Can we get the recycle bin content back after 15 days? Because they deleted by mistake and they did not remember to take it back. Please note here, now most of the people in the market will say no, not possible. They will say not possible. Okay. Please note here, correct answer is what? Let me tell you. The correct answer is possible. It is possible. By contacting Salesforce support and paying them for data recovery services. We can do that. Yes, it's possible. By contacting Salesforce support, and we have to pay for that. Now, immediately the next question comes from customer is how much? How much we need to pay? Now, please note that much also information you should have, because ultimately customer is going to ask you only, because we are taking the salaries for that only. We are going to help customers to run the business on Salesforce. So we should know all these things. Again, most of the people I saw in the market, they don't know this. Anyways, you guys keep in your mind now here onwards. Please note, this is very costly service, by the way. So this cost approximately 10K USD or around 7 lakhs Indian rupees. A very costly charge, by the way. And please note here, I have seen in my previous projects in my career, there were some companies who, without any hesitation, paid this amount to Salesforce. Because there are many companies, for them, 7 lakhs or 10,000 US dollars is a very small amount. For them, data is important. And that's why they pay the money. In some cases, I have seen the customers who said they cannot actually pay this amount. It's beyond their budget. Then they try to negotiate with Salesforce. They said we need only this much data. Can you negotiate, etc., etc. But that didn't work. Salesforce charges are flat. They will not come down. It's their flat charges. And this way, some companies did not proceed for this. Anyways, your or my work is only one thing to give the information or knowledge to customer. Now they will decide internally whether they want to pay or they don't want to pay. That is their problem. Our responsibility is to just give them all necessary information. So you also keep in your mind that these are the things, and suppose your data is lost, then you can tell customers, or it's possible, but you have to pay this much amount. Customer is okay, fine, okay. They are not ready, fine, no problem. Then let's go for the next point. So this way you need to help your customer. Second thing, now when companies will suffer by this kind of losses, then after that they will definitely come with one more question after this for sure, and they will say, can we extend the duration of recycle bin from 15 days to more? Now please note, this is also one common question because they have suffered the losses of this much amount, and they ask us, can we extend this? Again, please note, when I ask the question to 3-year, 4-year experienced people in Salesforce, they are having 4 years of experience. Wrong answer they are given in the interview. But please note here, in this case, the correct answer is yes. It's possible by contacting Salesforce support, and this is free service. So you don't need to pay anything for this. Contact Salesforce support, request them and say that we want to extend the duration. So depending on that, they will take a decision. We have seen for some clients, they have made up to 2 months also. 2 months extension means if you delete something for 2 months, the data will be present in recycle bin. So this is a free service. You can take the benefit of that also. Next, so this kind of information you guys should know, which will make you guys very strong in terms of knowledge, and you can perform very well in your jobs and help your customers as well. Now let me tell you something which is going to be also important for you for your interview. One interview question. And this was asked in a very big company, Google, which is also running its business on Salesforce platform. So please note, in my past, 2 to 3 students in my previous batches got a job in Google. So one of the students told me this interview question, and the question which he told is this. Before that, let me also tell you that those people right now in the session who are from USA, do check the opportunities coming or openings coming at Google company for Salesforce platform, because here the kind of benefits I have seen, the kind of salaries they give, the kind of environment they have, it's fantastic. So they give lots of benefits to the employees on that, and your life will be set if you make the entry into Google for platform like Salesforce. They're having their businesses like YouTube. The YouTube business is running on Salesforce. AdWords and other some businesses are there. They are running on Salesforce. My student was working on YouTube team. And now, what about people in India? So those are in India. They have any opportunity to work in Google, in the company Google? So unfortunately, no. Because Google's team, the Salesforce team of Google, is in USA. They are not working in India. So you don't have that opportunity in India. But nothing to worry. That's not a problem. The India market is going so good, so strong, that there are now so many companies for you as an alternate option than Google. Don't worry about Google. There are many companies which will pay you more than Google also. So let me tell you, you can focus on the companies like IBM. You can focus on the companies like Amazon. You can focus on the companies like LinkedIn. You can focus on the companies like Uber. You can focus on the companies like Paytm. You can focus on the companies like Morgan Stanley. You can focus on the companies like Salesforce.com itself. You can focus on the companies like Reliance. So there are so many companies. You can focus on the companies like Flipkart, Snapdeal. So one of my 2017 batch student who was working in Snapdeal in Salesforce platform, his salary was 27 lakhs per year. So just imagine what will be his today's salary, 2020 salary. And please note, I have also seen many friends in these companies. I have seen, in fact, I know around 4 to 5 people in these companies who are earning 3 or 3 plus lakhs per month in India in Salesforce. So don't worry about Google. There are many other options for you in India, even though Google is not providing jobs for Salesforce guys in India. There are so many companies. So you can target those companies. And now let me tell you something about that question. And what is that question? Let me tell you. So the question was asked is to my student was this: how we can check the storage capacity of recycle bin in Salesforce. Okay. So please note, first of all, you need to understand one important thing, that why this is a important question. First of all, you will feel that it's a very simple question, but it's not like that. If you go to Salesforce environment and if you go to recycle bin, then also you will not get the answer. You click on hundreds of places in Salesforce, here. You will never get the answer of this question. That's the reason this question looks simple, but it is not. If it is simple, then why Google would have asked this kind of question to my student in the second round of interview? So definitely it's a tricky question. So now a question may come in your mind that, Shekhar, you said that you will never get the answer of this question no matter where you click in the Salesforce environment. Then how to get the answer? That will be the question from your side. So please note, yes, you will never get the answer of this in Salesforce environment. It's not ready-made answer. You have to calculate your answer. And how to calculate the answer? Let me tell you. You have to take some kind of steps. Step 1 and step 2 and step 3 and step 4 like this. So let's see step by step things. Step number 1. Do one thing. In the step number 1, check the Salesforce org storage. Means what? Where we store non-deleted things. See, recycle bin is something where we store deleted things. I am talking about the Salesforce org storage where actually we store non-deleted things. Can we check that? Yes, that's possible. Okay, so how? Let me go to Salesforce environment and let me show you. So go to the Salesforce environment and then click on this option, setup. Click on this option, setup. Scroll down. Go at the bottom. And in the bottom, there is one section called as monitor. In the monitor section, there is one option called as system overview. Please click on that. So let's say I click on that. And after that, scroll down and you can see this is the area where we save non-deleted things in Salesforce. So what is the capacity I'm having? 5 MB capacity. Out of that, I have already used 4 MB. So this is the current situation. Okay, so this is how we can see non-deleted storage. So the answer is 5 MB for the step number 1. So let me go back to this and let me write here equal to 5 MB. And now let's go for the step number 2 for further action. But please note, if I go with this value, then it will be against the policy of my training program. And what is the policy we follow? So we follow a very strict policy of not wasting even 1 minute of students in the entire course by teaching something which actually is non-real time. Because we know that why our program is famous in the market, because we know why even having already job in Salesforce, people come to our program, and because we know that actually why people are joining this training program, because they know that as compared to market, they are getting lots of real-time knowledge in this training program. And that's the reason we strictly avoid even wasting 1 minute with the information which is non-real time. So please note, this is non-real time. Why? Because I don't think so any company in the market is using 5 MB storage because it's very low. Now my Salesforce environment is a training environment. I use this for training purpose. So that's okay. For training purpose, 5 MB is enough for me. But actually to run the projects, we don't use MBs. In the market, companies use GBs, gigabytes, terabytes. So the company where I'm doing job right now, we are having around 5 terabytes of storage. So companies go for terabytes and gigabytes. I will do one thing. I will take an example of one of my ex-customer where at the beginning of the project, they have taken 1 GB storage from Salesforce. So some companies start with 1 GB. So let's take an example of this because 1 GB is fine. That's a real time value. Some companies run the business on 1 GB also. So that's a real time. Let's go with 1 GB. Next, the second point here, convert into MBs. Now, before we proceed ahead, please note, I want everyone to check your screen very carefully. So if you can see something like this, if you can see the option like everyone, something like that. So first of all, you click on Shekhar value, and by clicking on this, then only you type something in the message. If you are able to see something like everyone, then please be careful and don't disturb other people by selecting a message to wrong window. And please note what you are going to do now here is you are going to now tell me the answer of this question by saying that if I convert 1 GB into MBs, then how much is going to be the answer? So 1 GB equal to how much MB? Please select value Shekhar, then only type in the chat box. And I'm going to wait for only 5 seconds. Then I'm going to tell the answer. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And up. Okay, good job. I can see most of the answers are correct. Only a couple of answers are wrong. No problem. Please note the answer is 1024. Okay, 1024. 1000 is the wrong answer. 1024 is the correct answer. So, anyways, please note anyone who give wrong answer, note it's 1024. Okay, so that's MBs. Now next, here I'm going to write something now in the double quotation. Salesforce says, because I want to tell you very important thing, and I want to make it very clear for you guys that this is told by Salesforce. It's not your wish or my wish. It's not something like we can make some change in that. No, it's something we need to compulsory follow because this is told by Salesforce. So what is that? Salesforce says make rounding. Means, what is the meaning of that? Means remove 24 MB from every 1024 MB. Okay, if Salesforce is telling us, then there is no reason to even wait for 1 extra second without even thinking. Immediately do that 1000 MB because this is a rule of Salesforce. Okay, fine, did that. Next, what is next step? Again, Salesforce says, this time also there is one important thing which Salesforce is saying, which we must follow. Salesforce saying multiply by 25. Now, when Salesforce is saying to multiply by 25, definitely, if you multiply by 20, 30, 15, your answer is wrong. We must multiply by 25 only because this is a rule. Okay, so it's equal to 25000 MB. And please note, guys, your answer is 25000 MB. You got your answer. This is a recycle bin storage. So now some questions can come in your mind that Shekhar, why you are multiplying by 25 or why that much storage to recycle bin and etc. etc. So now let me give the answer of all these things. Pay attention. Before you proceed, first of all, note one important thing. Whenever any project you are going to start in your career, your customer will make the payment to Salesforce that I told you at the beginning of this session only. So that also payment includes this. This is a paid storage, okay? Companies have to pay for this. This is a paid memory, paid storage. But this one is a free storage. For this, companies don't need to pay. Okay, it's a free storage. Now, just because it is free, do you think that Salesforce can give limitless storage? Like 1000 gigabytes or 1000 terabytes for free, or 50,000 heptabytes for free, or 90,000 gigabytes for free? Is it possible? No, it's not possible. There should be a limit. So Salesforce company, Salesforce management, Salesforce product owners, after doing the discussion and doing the meetings, they decided, okay, we will give free memory to the customers, whoever using Salesforce, but only 25 times than whatever they are paying for. More than that, we cannot give. Otherwise, it will make a loss for our business. And please note, guys, that's the reason from that day, 25 number came into the picture. And in the interview also, you are going to use the 25 number. Otherwise, your answer will be wrong. Now, the second question can come in your mind. Fine, that Salesforce decided 25 times, but why so much memory is required or storage required for recycle bin? Now, let me tell you that answer also. So, when you are going to join any company in future, you will see in one company, hundreds of people or sometimes thousands of people are using here. This is something like, for example, situation in real-time project. Hundreds or thousands of people are going to use Salesforce in one company. The company where I'm doing job right now, we are having around 5,000 users of Salesforce. One of my ex-student who got a job in Bank of America, he told me that around 10,000 people are there in his company using Salesforce. So just imagine in the big companies how big number will be. So these all thousands of people definitely will be having habit of deleting thousands of things in total every day. So this all information will go to recycle bin, and you know very well that the promise given by recycle bin to you is whatever going to be deleted in recycle bin, 15 days it will contain. So just imagine how huge storage the recycle bin needs to contain. And that's the reason, please note, 25 times storage Salesforce is giving to the recycle bin. Okay, so please note this important thing. And please note this 25 number is decided by Salesforce management, Salesforce team. It is their decision. Okay, so why 25, why not 24, why not 26? It is their decision. They have taken the decision by doing their internal meeting, and finally they came to the number 25. Okay. Now next is here. Now next is, let me just do one thing, and let me tell you one important thing. Now the next thing I'm going to tell you is the quiz. Okay. Now see what's going to happen. First of all, please note, in this important in this session, in this journey here, I'm going to regularly take quizzes for you, because we don't only focus on teaching to the students, but we also regularly evaluate them whether they are going fine, whether they are able to understand, and this way you will be having various quizzes. And this is your first quiz, because this is the first demo class for you. So first quiz of first demo, and the question number 1 is this: assume IBM paid, mute the mic please. Assume IBM paid for 5 gigabytes. Okay, IBM will get free memory, of course, of recycle bin memory equal to, your time starts now. Only 5 seconds you have. Tell me the answer with whatever information you got in last 1 minute. You have only 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, great job. Again, I can see most of the answers are correct. Well done, guys. And please note the correct answer for this question is 125000 MB. And by the way, guys, it's absolutely simple. Just look at this. It's simple mathematics. Simple mathematics. For 1 GB, 25,000. For 5 GB, 125,000. Just you are multiplying by 5. That's it. And please note, the person who gave the wrong answer, it's possible. The only person who gave the wrong answer, only one person. It's possible because maybe you did not convert this into MBs, or maybe you did not remove 24, or you did not multiply by 25. Otherwise, all the remaining people give the correct answer. Good job. So 125,000 is the correct answer. And now, guys, please note here, the next step we are going to see is how to start building any Salesforce project. That we are going to see, but that we are going to see in the next session. That's going to be tomorrow session, same time. Now, if you're having any kind of question, or if you're having any kind of query, then please note, now it's a question and answer time, and I'm going to give you the chance to ask the questions for a few minutes. So please proceed and let me know if you have any kind of questions or queries. Please proceed and type in the chat box if you have any kind of questions. So there is a question that tomorrow I will be joining by same login details. Yes, tomorrow you are going to join by same login details. One more question is there that I want. So if I want to do Salesforce assignment, then you are going to provide the environment. Yes, tomorrow you will be getting environment from my side. Just wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow onwards, lots of assignments will be given to you. There is one more question. I joined late in this today's session. Will I get the video? Yes, you will be getting a recorded video. Means whatever I'm teaching right now in the live mode, that is also getting recorded. So you will be getting the video of that also. So side by side, I'm also recording it. Okay. So this live session, I'm side by side recording also. Anyone join late, you will get the video. Watch it. And there is one more question that there's a question about the project. So please note, in our training program, we are going to work on one project, and apart from that, many project scenarios. and after that, after the training is over, you'll getting two more projects. So like this, you'll be getting three plus, or in fact, minimum three projects in this entire program. So in short, minimum three projects. And there is one more question that how vast is the coding part in Salesforce? Coding part is definitely a very vast thing in Salesforce, but it's not necessary to do coding every day. There are so many things. I will say thousands of things in Salesforce which you can do without coding. And also, we are having special sessions for those guys who never done any coding in their life. We take from the scratch for those people the sessions to ensure they will be very confident in programming. So you don't worry. The special sessions will help you to become confident in programming. And next is if you're not able. So yes, please note if you joined late or not able to join, you will be getting the video. No, don't worry about that. Next, now here, what time tomorrow? Same time, same time. And next is let me see. Next question. What coding language do we need to learn in order to go for Salesforce? So any basic programming knowledge also okay. And if you don't have, that's also fine. But if you know C language, Java, anything is okay. And if you don't know also, that's also okay. Okay. So any programming language is fine, because we take some sessions in such a way that whether you have the knowledge or you don't have, you will be good in programming. And there's a question about assignment. Yes, from tomorrow onwards, you are going to get back-to-back assignment. And next is there's a question about while doing assignment. Yes, you can mail me and you can ask me the question, or even WhatsApp while after the enrollment you can do. And there is any task for today's session? No. Only for today's session, there is no task. From tomorrow onwards, lots of tasks. Okay. And okay, fine. You're happy with the way you understood the things? Okay, great. Good to know that. And next is 25,000 MB is the capacity of recycle. Yes, correct. For that 1 GB, 25,000 is the capacity of recycle bin. And next is there's a question about the leaves. We don't have any leaves in the training program. We have continuous training, so we don't have any leaves. And next is, let me see. Anything is pending? Let me see. So there is a question about the format of the training or number of hours per day, that you will come to know in 1 or 2 days. Just wait. In 1 or 2 days, you will come to know about this. Okay. We are not right now fixing, and duration is around going to be duration, time, everything. Just wait for 1 2 days. We will let you know. Okay. And I'm from technical side of SAP. Want to move to functional? Yeah, definitely it's possible, because I have seen many people came from SAP to Salesforce and did a very good work. So that is definitely possible for you. Okay, it's possible for you. So that's definitely possible. Because SAP guys are having easy entry into the Salesforce. So yes, it's possible. And okay, so Mahesh, I think you selected the wrong value in the chat box. So now the chat box got locked. Okay. So guys, please note here. First of all, you need to understand one important thing, that as I said at the beginning of the session, anyways, it's the end of the session, so that's okay now. But please note, Mahesh, you selected the wrong value in the chat box. Even I told 2 3 times in the session. Now because of that, the chat box will got locked. Now if I want to continue, then I have to restart the session. This will waste time of everyone in the class. So it's okay. It's the first time and it's the end of the session. Please ensure that next time you guys are using proper value. Mahesh, I shown this photo also, and still you selected wrong value. So please ensure that other people will not get disturbed. And here, Let me see anything is pending. Okay, so next, now all the questions are answered, I think. Yeah, all the questions are answered, so there is nothing pending now. So now please note, tomorrow we are going to connect, and yeah, regular session, there's a question, regular class session hours, that will be decided today or yeah, day after tomorrow. So wait, we are right now we are doing discussion on that. Okay, so day after tomorrow. So fine, guys, so let's meet tomorrow, and day after tomorrow you will come to know about the regular time, duration, and everything. So let us meet tomorrow and see how we can implement in a Salesforce project. And in the afternoon time of India, you will get the video of this session. So you can watch it also if you join late. Let's meet tomorrow. See ya.